Welcome to the Sid and Leno show with me, Sid.
And me, Leno.
And this is going to be your weekly dose of entertainment for Sundays, since not much happens on Sundays anymore with the quarantine and everything. Apart from Boris, actually, today. Did you watch that, Leno?
Yes, I did. Sat down with the family.
Oh, yeah?
Had a little watch, yep. Discussion about it.
Yeah, well,
You watch it?
I did, yeah. We were on FaceTime to my sister, like we do every week on a Sunday, and she was not very happy because she works at a nursery and she was a bit confused about the whole thing. I think it was very vague.
Yes.
He didn't really go into detail about anything. He was just kind of like, yeah, so we're going to be reopening and I think that it's on a downward slope. But he didn't actually say anything.
Yeah.
At the same time, though... Sorry, you go.
He's given dates, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Sort of.
He's given 3 dates.
Well, he's given the date that he wants to open schools by.
Well, that was primary schools, wasn't it?
Yeah, primary schools, sorry. Yeah,
So,
class R to 6, yep.
Yep, so primary
And
schools.
then
And then I think exam students as well.
Yeah, so year
Right.
10 and
12.
year 12s, yeah. He wants to get them in at a later stage. But he's talked about, as of this Wednesday, he wants to let people start going into work if they need to.
Yeah, that was also very vague. To be fair, what he said people need to start going to work if they can't already work from home.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, look, even so, I work as a waiter at the pub. I can't work from home, but I'm not going to be going back until what he said, the minimum 1st of July.
Yeah.
But then he's also
needs to-
yeah, so hospitality and all that is obviously going to be left till last. But so then I didn't understand what he meant by anyone that can't work from home has got to start working starting this week, because that's like, who does that include?
Well, yeah. I think he's mainly talking about people that, like, for example, you're not obviously a full-time.
Oh no,
worker,
yeah, I won't.
I think he means, so obviously the hospitality things, they don't need to go into work yet. But things like, for example, he said builders.
Yeah, I think that was the main idea. Construction, etc., etc. Yeah.
For what they need to do, that isn't for the leisure of other people.
People that aren't providing a service. Well, I guess building is a service, but they're not providing a service like that. Did you do geography? Past?
Yeah, I did.
Do you know about like tertiary industries and secondary? Yeah. So it's basically like the primary industries where people are making things, and I feel like those sorts of people can go back to work, probably with restrictions, right?
Well, yeah, they said you can only go into work if you can still, like, follow the social distancing rules.
Yeah. So even while you're at work, you've still got to be 2 meters apart, etc. Washing hands, so on and so forth. But
Oh wait, sorry, go on.
No, you go.
Okay. He didn't mention anything about your family.
Yeah.
Big thing that obviously my family,
most
families would be shocked in.
A lot of people were interested whether they can visit family. Yeah.
Yeah, he said you can go out as many times as you want for exercise. You can even go play sports, but you have to be in your household.
With people from your household,
yeah,
right?
They have to be with people within your household.
Yeah, so that was weird. So I don't know if I misinterpreted it or my family misinterpreted it, but so my nephew coming up to 1 next Wednesday, and so all my family is based in Suffolk, and then you've got my sister, as she is, but basically by herself. I mean, a few of my more distant relatives are down in Kent still, but us as a household are in Suffolk, and then she's down in Kent. And we were saying, what Boris has said is you can drive and you can go as far as you want for exercise, as long as it's with family. So we were thinking, does that mean you can visit family? So say my sister came up and then just, said that she was coming for exercise. This is obviously far-fetched, and it's not going to happen because that's just ridiculous. But I'm saying, like, there wasn't specific. And also he said he's going to raise the fines.
Yeah, so he's going to raise the fines to the minority.
That are disobeying it, Yeah. And I'm like, how are you going to raise the fines? Because we don't know. He hasn't made it very clear what the do's and don'ts are for where you can go, what you can do. And then he's... Yeah, so
everything about this whole topic has been quite vague.
Yeah.
Except
The dates were... I think the dates were good. because that was something I was interested in. Wow, I haven't even mentioned anything about myself yet. We'll get to that. No, myself, interested in myself because I'm 16 and I work part time at this pub, and obviously because it's just like a part time thing and it's a 0-hour contract, so they can call me in. I mean, it's either a lunchtime shift or an evening shift, but they can call me in for either one whenever they want, even like on the day. They could call me in. Of course, I can say no, but I'm always going to want to say yes. So basically, I wanted to know when I'll be back to work because that will massively affect streaming, which I haven't gone on to either.
So we can go on streaming now, or we could stick a little bit on the...
I mean, yeah, no, that basically sums it up for Boris's thing. So I liked how he had dates. So it's, what is it, 1st of June for primary, or exam, people that are having exams next year.
Well, he didn't say those times for them. He wants to get the people with exams next year to get. He never explicitly said a date for people that have exams.
No. So that was it as well. I don't think the 1st of June is for the exam students. I think that's just for primary schools.
Yeah, he said he wants to get people that have exams next year to get into school to see their teachers before the summer holidays.
Oh yeah, that's he just said before the holidays. So I don't know whether that's going to be like once a week or maybe just a week or two before, like right before the holidays were meant to start.
He also said he hopes, so he's not sure
no,
yet.
that was it as well. Basically every sentence was I hope that I can do it. I stride to do. He never said this will happen. Which is completely fair enough. Like, no one knows. Everything is uncertain.
Personally, I believe they won't get the what was it, which date was the June one?
June the 1st.
The 1st. Okay, so whenever it was in June, I don't think that the UK will be ready to send them back just yet.
That might be extended even further.
Because after this announcement, I feel like everyone's a bit more relaxed.
June the 1st. We're on the 10th of May.
Yeah.
Oh, June. Yeah, no, when he says June, that seems so far away because you think, oh, summer. And I don't know about you, but right now I'm not thinking of summer.
No.
I still feel like we've just started spring. But now, exactly that. But now I'm like, 10th of May, so that's literally 20 days. And you could have primary schools back, you know.
See, after this announcement, I believe that people are going to be a bit more relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
And that we are going to go back up, I believe, in cases.
Yeah, I know. And I feel like just the people of the UK just aren't responsible enough. It could be the odd minority, and it is the odd minority, but it could be the odd case. But I am seeing things still online where it's people in the streets having massive parties. You had in your street the other night, right?
Yeah, so it was, is it VE Day?
Yeah, the VE Day, that's it. For the end of...
decided to have a party.
Yeah.
Obviously, I decided not to go because I stay inside most of the time on the computer.
So you weren't planning on going to that anyway?
I wasn't planning, no. Outside, I saw at least like 5 houses all like coming together, having barbecue.
Together as in like not even socially distancing?
Well, they were within 2 meters of each other.
Okay.
And so they did that.
But still, like, say 2 weeks ago, I don't think that would have happened.
Well, it's very...
I don't know where this is coming from. Maybe it's losing patience because I don't know if the daily death toll is actually definitely going down. I don't think it is.
Apparently, we reached our peak about 2 weeks ago. Boris.
Oh, really?
And so it's definitely gone down from then.
Okay,
and
so we are on a downward slope.
It doesn't go back 2 weeks. So, but with this virus, it could mutate. It could change everything.
Exactly. Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know enough about it.
It could be just the start, or it could be gone, and it's just who people who've got it now. You don't know because it's, as they call it, it's an invisible killer, really, isn't it? So
yeah,
you just can't predict it. So exactly. So he's going to be reopening things. I think his announcement that you can have as much exercise as you want starting from Wednesday, so that's literally unlimited exercise. That could be quite easily abused.
Yeah,
I don't know if people can be trusted with that, but we'll see. That is just all it is we'll see. We just have to see how the stats change as
everything considered. So pubs will be reopening, which means your streaming will be affected. And obviously, you stream on Twitch. You've recently hit affiliate.
Yeah.
How's that going for you?
It's good. So, so it's because of the quarantine that I've had this massive surge in being able to stream, and being live for more hours of the week is obviously going to mean that you're more open to people to see you for more hours of the week. Like, for example, I get someone that comes on and says, "Hey, I swear you're always live." And they say, "Whenever I'm on, you always seem to be live." And I'm like, to be fair, I don't stream as much as some people do. It's just one stream a day for a couple of hours. But no, so because I've not got other things to worry about and I can have a consistent schedule, that means that people can return. And so for some people, they'd say that I'm always live and they always know that they can go there. And so that means that I've obviously had a rise in average viewers and a crazy increase in new followers as well. I'm not sure if that's just games I'm playing, but there you go. So stats have just been on and up, basically.
So with the times you're streaming as well, you're opening your view audience.
Yeah.
So obviously you've got people from Argentina,
for example. Shout out to Milo.
Yeah. You got people from all around in fact, we've even got Australia coming in with Josh Robinson.
Yes, Josh. We'll come back to Josh at the end, I'm sure.
We'll come back to it. So you're obviously opening your audience a lot, which is also helping you. But the problem with that is when you go back to work, which you'll have to do, and
it's
school,
inevitable, unfortunately.
I wish have to go to sleep earlier and stuff like that. Working, so this will affect how you're growing currently.
100%. It's just a ticking clock, and I'm so nervous about it. Like I'd love to go back to work and have that, interaction with people, which is what I like about being a waiter. Actually, is it's not really improving social skills because all you're doing is you're going up to tables and asking the same things, but it in a way it does. And I do miss that interaction, not only with the people that I work with, but the people that come into the pub, and so I miss that. But at the same time, it's like I keep remembering how that is literally going to mean I can basically have no schedule. There's only a very small window when they can't ask me into work. Well, there's two. So the lunch shift would be 12 till about 3, and then if they called me in for an evening shift, that could be from 6:30 up till about 10. So the only windows I've got really are before 12 or before 11:30 because I've got to get there, which I wouldn't really want to be streaming before that time in the morning. I don't know, especially right now with quarantine, I'm going to bed so late, I couldn't do that. But I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to stream in the morning, and then I also don't know whether I'd want to stream after I've got back from work at 3, for example, up until around about 6. That small window, I don't know if I want to be spending that streaming, because then that day has been non-stop, say if I was to work 2 shifts. So it's literally going to completely ruin the streaming game. I might just have to drop the schedule completely and just say I'll stream whenever I'm not working or whenever I have a free slot, but that is going to damage it massively because people don't know when to expect me. Whereas
so
it's all luck. It's just hoping that people are going to be able to see it. But I was just going to say that timing is just a massive thing, and you don't really realize it until you think about it. You just think, you can just stream whenever and people will come either way. But you have got to think about time zones, especially just comparing yourself to other places. So in the UK, it's good to stream in the evenings because most other places, so Europe is all around about where you are. So what you want to be doing is trying to get a lot of people to be watching you in the evenings, because I feel like personally that's when a lot of people are going to watch you. So in Europe, if you're streaming in the evenings, the Europeans are going to be watching you in the evenings. So for example, I start at 8, so then an American who's roughly 5-6 hours behind would be watching me at about 2, which during quarantine is good, but maybe when schools reopen, if I was to stream at 8, I wouldn't get as many American. There's so much, do you know what I mean? There's so much to it with timing. The only real exception to that is that is Australia, to be honest, with the streaming in the evenings.
Then you also got obviously on top of work and streaming, you've also got school.
Oh yeah.
You're going back to school if it opens by then. You don't know how that's going to go still. You've got all these possible things that you could be doing because you don't know your schedule yet.
No.
That's the thing with going to
Can't.
sixth form or college. You still don't know until you get right up to it what your schedule's going to be.
Yeah, and you don't know. So with school, it basically just means you can't stream during the day, that 9 to 3 or whatever window,
Yeah.
which would be fine for what I'm doing at the moment, streaming in the evenings. But with obviously now that it's A levels, which if you're not from the UK, it's basically just after you finish proper high school, it's basically going on still in the high school, but it stands for advanced levels, so it's just the more complex bit before you end up going to uni. It's like the bridge between high school and uni. Yeah, so A levels, you really need to get your head down and focus. And from what I've heard, it's so difficult to keep up, and I feel like I'd want to do a lot of work at home to catch up and be able to understand it. So that's the problem with streaming in the evenings. Will I even have the evenings free? Because I might be doing work. Who knows? It's all up in the air. It really is.
You may have to move to maybe making videos.
That is good actually. Yeah.
Because obviously then you can fit it in whenever, and you can start, stop, cut, and put together.
Yeah, videos are good actually because it doesn't matter when you record it, and then so you can record it whenever, and then you can put it up at a specific date. So say I could have a schedule for videos. I could say a video on Saturday and a video on Wednesday. It doesn't mean that I'd have to be free on a Saturday and a Wednesday. It just means that I'd have to be free at any 2 points throughout the week. I never thought about that. I never thought about making videos. I really didn't.
So for the Wednesday upload, you could like record, for example, say you're doing a walkthrough.
Yeah.
Because obviously you can do them on your stream or playthrough. You could do half of it on Monday, then half of it on Tuesday, edit it together.
Yeah,
and upload
exactly.
it on the Wednesday. So there's all those possibilities.
That is the thing with a Twitch schedule, is that you have to be there at this time, and if you've got any other plans, then that will either ruin the schedule, or you'll have to say no to the plans. So you're right. Actually, I never thought about YouTube. You could still have a schedule, but you can literally record it any time in the week that you've got a free spot. It's a lot more flexible. That's a good shout. I didn't think of
that. So, what should we? Is there anything you want to talk about now?
No, I was so I've spoken a lot about my streaming game. I mean, it's just to anyone who's. I mean, I'm going to assume that a lot of people here are coming from my Twitch, or at least know me on Twitch. But I mean, if you don't, then I'm sure a link would have come up at the beginning. You can go and check it out. I just a lot of the time I play through single player games. Occasionally I'll do like the multiplayer thing. It's all on there if you want to see it, but it's a massive part of my life, and I used to be more YouTube oriented, but I switched to streaming a couple of years ago. There's a video still up on my channel about it, or it might be privated, I can't remember, and so I summarized it in that. I like streaming because it's a lot more relaxed.
Interactive as well.
Of course it's interactive because it's in real time, and I feel like it's more relaxed. You don't have to necessarily put on a persona or anything. It's the interactive thing. I think you've got that's the main thing, is that if someone wants to talk to you, then you can talk to them right there and then, and they can answer the question straight away. Whereas on YouTube, if you're going to say something to your audience, you'd have to wait for the comments to flow in, and then you may address it in the next video, say a week later. It's definitely an interactive thing. That I like.
That's how obviously you see Twitch, they grow quite well.
Yeah.
And it's easier to find them. That's why Twitch's interface is quite good for smaller streamers.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel YouTube, as for smaller people, is quite hard to find.
Oh yeah, it's so hard to grow on YouTube, unless you are actually being properly professional. Because to watch a YouTube video, you have to be watching something that is actually entertaining, and it has to be of a professional standard for you to keep interest. Whereas I feel like on Twitch, even if something isn't as entertaining, you can be there for the persona, because you can actually have a chat with them as if they're a friend. I'm not going to name any names, but there are a few streamers who don't have the best webcam or don't have the best smooth 60 FPS gameplay, but I'm still there just so that I can talk to them and just have a conversation with them, because that's That's something that YouTube definitely doesn't have, is that you're just watching them. You're not really talking to them at all.
And
wow,
also,
Twitch versus YouTube. This is become.
wow. You can also, in Twitch, you can like sort of, for example, when me and you, we watch streamers together sometimes.
Yeah.
And we can sort of bounce off the streamer as such. So like I ask them a question, they ask me, and like you sort of build a community.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can ask them a question, then they ask you a question, and it sort of works like that. So you can talk a lot more. It's definitely more interactive, and as such, I feel like you've obviously with you streaming, you've grown a community, and then you have other streamers out there that you've raided, you follow, that you've shown me and shown your other viewers.
It's so easy to build a community on Twitch as well.
That they've now gone over and seen those streamers.
Yeah.
So then those streamers have grown. Then they come and raid you back, and then you've grown.
it's the endless cycle, isn't it? And that's exactly it. So it is easy to grow because of that aspect, where you can go from streamer to streamer, talk from streamer to streamer. Whereas on YouTube, it's not as easy to shout someone out. There's many ways on Twitch. You could either raid them and literally send your viewers to them. Obviously on YouTube, that's not. They don't even have anything close to that. And then you could also see someone in the chat of someone's stream.
Yeah.
Obviously YouTube have comments, but it's unlikely that you're going to see another YouTuber in the comments and find them through that.
Well, yeah, because using chat, you can sort of find out a bit more what they like.
So you learn more about them because they're talking more.
Yeah.
On a comment, you're not.
More of a, for example, on Twitch, it's more of a conversation where, as YouTube, for example, say you make a video, I then comment on it, you read it, you don't reply most of the time. Like you might reply to the odd one, but then you're less likely to reply to my reply.
Yeah,
because it's like you don't have the need to do it. Whereas on Twitch, you're sort of there
in real time.
Yeah,
exactly. So yeah, I feel like Twitch is a lot easier to build a community, but being big, I think, just being a big content creator overall, I think it would be probably better to make videos, because you can see the reactions after you've produced it, whereas on Twitch you're seeing the reactions to it while you're trying to produce it at the same time.
Yeah.
So like if you've got a crazy fast chat, you can't really keep up, and it's hard. Whereas I mean on YouTube you're not going to read every comment, but after you've finished it and you can like look back at it and think, this is my time to reflect, you can actually look through at the comments and see what people think then. And you have that time just to look through. So I think, I don't know, maybe being a big content creator, you'd rather be on YouTube, and also you can refine it a lot more and tweak it a lot more.
But if there's anything you don't like, you can just literally just take it out.
Exactly. Whereas on Twitch, obviously you're live the whole time and you can't really change that. Yeah, I don't know, maybe I'd rather be on YouTube if I was bigger.
Well, it's sort of a lot of streamers today, they build their community on Twitch, then also sort of drag, because obviously when you move to a different platform, you can't drag your whole community over.
No, I mean look at Ninja, right? Ninja is just a massive example. He's
gone from being like, he was the most subbed person on Twitch, and he's just like gone from the highest peak and just plummeted to like
a very average. Like he's now sitting at the mid tier. It's very rare that I check up on him, but when I do, he's
as much of him anymore.
No,
because there's less people watching him.
There's less people talking about it. Yeah, of course. I think at the same time he did have a peak, definitely around about that time, sort of when he played with Drake, and it was just that butterfly effect. These people were talking about him, therefore so and so was talking about him. That's how he got Drake playing with him, because there was so much talk about him generally, and he wasn't going to maintain that for 2 years, even if he did stay on Twitch. But that did coincide with him moving to Mixer, and I'm not a fan of Mixer. I would watch Ninja from time to time whenever I was on Twitch, and now I just don't want to go over to another website just to watch this one guy. I don't like him that much. Whereas when he was on Twitch, I could watch him casually because he was just kind of there. I don't want to be going over to Mixer just to see one guy. That's got to be for the people that really wanted to stick around.
Twitch has a lot more different streamers as well.
Yeah.
Like, so there's more popular streamers, or the people that I know on Twitch. Like, for example, I only know one person on Mixer, and that is Ninja.
That is Ninja.
And
you.
So I've got,
and you.
Yeah, they're only for you though. I only stream there.
Okay.
So, anyway, so on my follow list for Twitch, I have it going right way down, so I have to go down 4 pages to see them all. Whereas on Mixer, I literally have Ninja, and that is it.
That is it.
So why would I go over there just to watch this one person, then to come all the way back when I could just watch all of them here on this one location? So
I think what Mixer thought they were going to do is by taking Ninja, that would bring a lot of people over and to see how good it is. But I don't think they were ready. I don't think, because it's still being made, basically. Well, I mean, every website is still being made, but it's still in its early stages. So they weren't. I don't think the website was ready for people to come over and start moving over. I don't think it was good enough, and I still don't think it's good enough. I don't like just the interface at all. It feels very rough and ready and not finished, basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think by moving Ninja over, they were expecting other streamers to move over either voluntarily or maybe they'd be able to convince them to. There were probably some more deals that we didn't hear about that the streamers
obviously
rejected.
Weren't as much money.
Yeah.
Because
that was ridiculous.
Very, very big.
Yeah, because they got him at his peak, didn't they? It was 2018, as far as I know. Yeah, so Mixer kind of flopped. Not gonna lie. I think
obviously they've still got their little community.
Yeah,
it's nowhere near as powerful as Twitch is.
And I have heard good things as well. Like, I think Dean was mentioning it the other stream. He said he went over there and he liked certain aspects of it. Apparently, it was more interactive.
Yeah,
they've got like a leveling up system in chat, which I think is quite cool. But I mean, I wouldn't want them to put it on Twitch because I just feel like it's not needed.
I haven't been there at Mixer long enough to see what the advantages of leveling up are.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't even know that. So I didn't see the point at the moment.
Maybe it's just to have a number by your name.
Yeah.
Who knows? But that's not really the point. It's not about when you're on a streamer. If you want to stand out from the crowd, it needs to be because you're supporting that streamer, not because you've leveled up over a bunch of streamers and have a higher number.
When I was doing that stream for you on Mixer, you saw even me and you were just spamming in chat and we were leveling up so quickly.
It's quite easy to level up, yeah.
Yeah, so for example, I could one Sunday decide to just stream for no one and in my chat all day just spam the same letter and I get to level whatever level I can get to and then obviously it looks like I've been watching for ages.
It looks like you're an avid mixer viewer because it can be abused so easily. That's another sign really that it's quite early stages, quite early days still for Mixer, if that's the thing that you can do. Or maybe they just didn't need a leveling up system. Maybe it's too hard to counter that sort of thing.
We'll see. Hopefully
we'll see. I don't know if Mixer will expand. There's a lot of things like that. There's a lot of hope for them, and then they just flop. Another example is Apex Legends. I mean, do you remember when everyone thought that was gonna overtake Fortnite? And I mean, I think it did, because people wanted it to so badly because they were bored. But then, so that sort of thing just doesn't last. It doesn't have the momentum to. But
it's almost every battle royale game.
Oh no, that's true actually. Apex Legends was an odd example because there's been a lot more.
Yeah, they've all tried to compare with Fortnite, which I think personally, like the new game Warzone, that's doing quite well.
Yeah, some have lasted longer than others. Warzone is doing extremely good.
Obviously, you still get the small percentage of players that still play it because they like the aspect of it. Apex Legends to me was very pay to win because of the. I
never played much Apex Legends. I think I installed it and that was about it. I don't even think I played one game.
You had the you got to pick a character, and that character had special powers depending on which character you pick.
That's what distinguishes it.
Yeah.
Yeah, all these battle royales do try and have something that distinguishes it, and Valorant has that. Valorant isn't trying to be a battle royale; it's trying to be CS:GO, but they have the powers as well to distinguish it from CS:GO and like the art style and stuff. But so all these games that are coming out and trying to overtake the other they're all trying to do something different, and some do better than others, I've got to say.
Personally, I believe that Valorant has only grown on Twitch, so how much it had.
Here it is, yeah.
Because of the way they're giving keys out.
Yeah, it's exclusive access,
a game
isn't it?
you'd
If it
have
was
to buy, I doubt that it would grow this as much as it had. I think it would grow, but nowhere near as much as it would have.
Yeah, so they've got 3 different options, haven't they? They've got the exclusive access, like they've got at the moment, which is free, but it's quite hard to get access to, but people are still wanting to do it. There is just free to play, and that would probably be the easiest way to get people playing it.
Well, like you see for Fortnite, they did when they did it, they brought out Save the World, then Battle Royale. Battle Royale was played, then they did the thing in where obviously you could get V-Bucks in Save the World.
Yeah.
And that's what made a lot of people go over to Save the World, just because they get a free gift of V-Bucks, which was very clever. Which is the same.
That was very clever. It got me to buy Save the World, and I never really had an interest. And then because of that feature, I was drawn to Save the World, and then I did actually enjoy Save the World for what it was for quite a while, and I played it even if it wasn't for the V-Bucks. God, I'm dying.
That's also what Warzone's sort of doing as well, sort of, because you've got the Battle Royale, which they're giving out game modes now. I think there's a solo one out at the moment where you can respawn as many times as long as you have enough money.
Oh yeah,
which is one aspect that helps Fortnite kept going, was the the game modes, which were very enjoyable because they had
limited ones coming every week. I mean, they probably still do, don't they? Yeah.
I don't think they have this season because it's more focused on the storyline. But
okay.
Yeah, Warzone, I don't think will ever live up to what Fortnite was.
But it's also at a different audience. I feel like. Although
older audience.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of people would just refuse to play Fortnite because they would just think, "Oh, that's a kids' game." Whereas with Warzone, they're like, "Oh, it's a Call of Duty game. I can play that." This is like people over 18, for example. They're like, "Oh, it's Call of Duty, so I can play that." And so you see a lot of older people playing it, whereas with Fortnite, it was more targeted at kids, which I think is actually a bigger audience.
Well, yeah,
honestly, which is might be why Fortnite was doing better, is because they have a bigger audience, which is kids. Whereas Warzone, although they have the audience of adults, which Fortnite doesn't have, that's not as big because obviously people are actually getting on with their lives.
They're both completely different. One's a first-person shooter, one's a third-person.
Yeah, exactly.
People might not be good at one, but be brilliant at the other. They focus on that one.
Yeah, that was really stupid of me to pin it down to target audience.
Well, no.
There's a lot to both of them, but that is definitely something for Warzone, is that they've got a different audience as far as I know. Like there's some people who you speak to that just say, "Oh, I just straight up can't have Warzone," whereas nobody can say, I'm not allowed Fortnite because it's for everyone. Yeah.
So, did you want to talk about why we've decided to choose a podcast?
Why have we decided to go for a podcast?
So, obviously, we were talking earlier about this Australian man.
A certain Australian. Yeah.
So he has his own network, which I'm sure we can shout out later. Or now.
Well, now, Josh Robinson 00 Network.
Yep. So he has, I believe, 4 podcasts on there.
Wow, 4 podcasts.
Which is a lot. And so recently, obviously, Sid followed him for quite a while on Twitch.
Is this not crazy though? So sorry, just remember what you were saying, because I'm just going to make a quick little point. All it was he just dropped into one of my GTA 4 streams, and this is for everything in life. But to think, if I didn't want to play GTA 4 that day, maybe we would never be sitting here now doing this podcast, because we wouldn't have met Josh. Josh wouldn't have met me. I wouldn't have spoken to Josh. I wouldn't have found. Is that not crazy? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, obviously you wouldn't have introduced him to me.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was one stream we were talking to Josh, and he was, because obviously he watches Sid. Said Sid had a podcast voice.
Oh god, podcast voice. Yeah. I think I just have a podcast mic, honestly.
Either way, Josh said that he believes that Sid should do a podcast, and I told Sid that he should do one because I think it'd be good. And from there, Sid asked me to maybe join him on it, and that's where we are today.
Yeah.
And hence this. So all realistically came
down to Josh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously Josh said to me that he thought I had a podcasting voice, and that was basically the trigger or the catalyst. But although I didn't say anything, I was always secretly thinking. So I was just watching Josh ever since, a few weeks ago, whenever it was, when I first found his content, and I was watching his podcast, and it was the brothers-in-law one specifically that I'm most interested in. Obviously, because there's a co-host thing, and that's just my personal preference, is having two people bouncing off each other. But it was the fact that it was just his sister's fiance, and he's just some guy. He's never had he says that he's done a lot of like old YouTube channels and whatnot. But as far as I know, he doesn't have experience in podcasts and stuff. He is just some guy, this Ryan. And so Josh is basically carrying the podcast, but Ryan is still there to talk. And I was just sitting there thinking, I was like, wow, so you could literally be anyone. And as long as you're on a good podcast with a good someone...
Good conversation.
If you have good conversational skills, then it could literally be anyone just having a conversation.
Yeah.
The first one, of course, we suffered because it feels so forced. The first one, it's like you have to sit down and you have to press the record button, and then you have to start talking about stuff. It feels quite forced, but I feel like in the future episodes, it will just be like, oh, do you want to record an episode? Oh, sure. What are we going to talk about? And then it will just, it will just take off from there. But the first one's always going to feel quite forced.
It's more that obviously we had the idea of introducing ourselves.
Yeah.
But we want it to sound more like a conversation. So obviously we don't have scripts in front of us, so we can't read off that. But we just wanted to sort of talk about each other, talk to each other, sort of, and about things that you might be interested in. And obviously, as we go further along, we'll be able to sort of open up to
what people in the comments want, etc. Yeah, right now it's about us. Although we have drifted off talking about Twitch and Fortnite and this, that, and the other. Shall we bring it back? How do we know each other, right?
Oh, so the way we know each other.
Well, quite the story. Yeah. No, it's just school. It's school. It's one word, school.
Yes,
it's all it is. Yeah. So honestly, so it's year 7 now, being 5 years ago. So 2015 when we started year 7. Wow. Yeah. You were in from year 7, right? From the beginning. Yeah.
We didn't really know each other.
Well, yeah, no, that's what I was going to say. We never really spoke to each other.
Like,
I think we just hung out with different people. That's what I found with that school, is that everyone is sort of friends with each other. I don't know if that has lasted, but I feel like our class, 7BY, everyone had... Obviously, there were certain people who were closer with each other, but I really liked, and I didn't notice until I moved to another school, and it was like categorically this friendship group. Yeah, no, so I felt like everyone was basically friends with each other. And you could have maybe quote unquote unpopular kids who still talk to the more popular kids, and it was everyone just was sort of friends with each other. It was good. It was good times. So I mean, me and Leno were friends, of course, but we would have never sat down and done a podcast back in year 7. That was the difference.
And then it's sort of, we got to about, I'd say, what year did you leave again? Year 9, didn't you?
I lived, end of year 9.
Yeah. So about year 8, halfway through, we were in the same DT class.
Oh yeah. I remember. With Ben Kelly.
Yeah. With a couple of other friends, and so from there we sort of got as a group. And me and you, we started working on DT projects together, and that's obviously where my name came from.
Leno.
So that's really where me and you became friends.
But that DT, still, I feel like that was just sort of like friends at school, friends in certain lessons, and it was like it was sort of limited to that. When it opened up was when I moved away, and then the only way we could have kept in contact is through games and Discord and whatnot. That's when it opened up to something, because I felt like even though we were close when we did that DT thing, we never would have really thought about doing a podcast.
No, it's because I never really talked to you outside of school.
Yeah, so that's the thing. We weren't
Yeah.
friends outside of school as much. It was so end of year 9. So this was 2018. Now, my mum decided to move to Suffolk because she was bored of life in the city, or it was in a town. But she was bored of. She just wanted to properly settle down in a nice, relaxing
Which is fair
barn
enough.
in Suffolk, which is completely understandable. But I mean, I could do a whole episode on how I feel about this. It's just I don't feel it's fair on a teenager. You know, that's what I was 14.
You're used to where you were
I
living.
feel like maybe if it was the other way round. So I was brought up in this rural area, you know, having a nice
Yeah.
garden that leads out to a field, and it's all, you know, picturesque. But when you start getting to 15 or 16, you want to be going out, you want to be meeting friends, you want to be finding work, and you know, if you have a car, you want to have places to go. I'm not. I could make a whole episode on how I feel about living in the middle of nowhere at the age
And
of
maybe
16.
we will one.
It's not great. Maybe we will. Who knows what could happen in the future?
Yeah, so obviously Sid moved away. There was a part of time where we didn't keep in touch.
I think
But-
we never really contacted each other directly, right? I think
No.
it was it Jack or
Jack,
who?
yeah.
Was it Jack that? Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know how I would have ended up playing Fortnite with Jack, but I got into Fortnite being so bored. I used to. This is funny. I used to always say how much I hated Fortnite before I moved, and then I moved, and I was like, I'll give it a go because I've got nothing else to do. I'm kind of
And
bored.
you
It was like the
became-
summer holidays, and then I loved the game. I got so sucked in. This was 2 years ago, and I have a horrendous memory, so I'll just skip to me somehow ending up playing with Jack, and then Lennon was friends with Jack, and then hence I was friends with Lennon.
Yeah.
That was what.
And we started speaking outside of school, and
Yeah,
hence where we are today.
that was basically it, wasn't it? It was Fortnite.
Yeah. So that's pretty much what blew our friendship up.
Mhm.
In a good way.
In a good way, yeah. Well, that kind of strengthened it. What blew it up is when you started helping me out with my Twitch. I don't know how that happened.
So obviously, you know Tom.
Mhm.
So I followed him on, friended him on Twitch,
Okay.
and so obviously we were talking. Then obviously revision. I came off the internet for a bit to
Yeah, me too.
get focused on schoolwork,
Mhm.
and then all of a sudden I see Tom on Twitch is watching crypto, and obviously I recognise the name. So I went,
Fortnite.
I'll go check it out, and so
Oh, so
I
were
knew
you
it.
just a viewer?
yes, I was
one
just doing
point.
viewer
I-
that to start with.
God, it shows my memory is horrible. Did you just join the chat as Leno99?
I joined the chat as Leno99,
Oh wow. Okay.
and well, yeah,
And now you're much more behind the scenes, so you see basically
Yeah.
every statistic, every
Well, yeah,
average
yeah.
viewer, everything like that. Probably because I trust you the most
thank you.
out of my friends. So yeah, you see all of that sort of thing. You're much less of a viewer now. Obviously, you are
yeah.
officially a mod, but
Yeah.
yeah, to think that you were at one point just a viewer and you were just kind of that. Wow.
Well, it was one stream out of the blue that I joined
Mm.
because I was bored. But obviously, I
Board of revision. God,
Yeah,
I could
well, no,
also do an episode on the school system and
Well, yeah.
how everything comes down to exams, whereas in America they grade you as you go. We won't talk about
Yeah.
that now, but I don't like the UK school system at all.
Well, I joined you during quarantine,
Mhm.
so we'd gone into quarantine.
So when I started again,
yeah,
So
and
obviously,
then
yeah.
obviously I'm bored now because obviously we've been inside for a bit.
Mm.
I moved to Twitch, or not moved to Twitch. I go to look at Twitch to see if there's any streamers on,
Mm.
and obviously it shows your friends online what they're doing, and that's how I found you.
Wow.
And then yeah, so that's really
didn't know that. And then let's
Yeah.
turn it on you. So what is
Yeah.
your future on Twitch as a creator, not as a
my
viewer?
future on Twitch. I am hoping to start streaming shortly.
Hmm.
Hopefully, when I get my PC.
Shortly, meaning.
Shortly. Hopefully, I don't want to say anything before when the summer holidays would begin.
Mm.
Hopefully.
So
if
for
I've got
those
enough
for
money.
those in America and wherever they have funky summer holidays, don't they?
I think
I think Americans would have started their summer holidays.
Will be before July, hopefully.
July, there you go.
But yeah, that's...
You're waiting
that's
on
what
your
I can say.
PC, right?
Yeah.
You've always been an Xbox guy.
Yeah.
Ooh, Xbox versus PS4 versus PC. There's another episode.
Yeah.
We just keep coming with the ideas for future episodes. Should we just record them all tonight?
Oh,
I mean, it's
I don't think I
9:30
can do
now. I don't think I could do that. This has worn me out as it is.
you've got streaming tomorrow.
I have got streaming tomorrow. Bully is a game that a lot of people have asked me to play. I have to say, I didn't want to spoil anything for myself, but I think the reason I ended up buying it was because so I always heard about it, and I thought it was a 2D game, and I think it's the cover art for it. It looks very cartoony,
Yeah.
so I didn't realize it was like a proper 3D, not necessarily open world, but I didn't realize what it was until I watched just a smaller streamer playing it. It must have been someone I knew, because I wouldn't have gone out my way to look it up. And then I thought, okay, well, I'll add it to my wish list and maybe I'll get around to buying it. It was super, super cheap on Steam, so I was like, fine, I'll buy it. And then maybe if people want to see it, then I'll play it on stream, but I doubt they will. And for some reason, everyone wants to see that game. Literally everyone I speak to wants me to play it. I don't know, I think it's like Vice City. I think it's just people have grown up playing it, and so that's why they like it. Because say if someone I knew said, oh, should I play Spider-Man 3 on the PS2, just because I played it as a child, I would say yes, even if it's a crap game. So I feel like maybe that's what it is. It's an older audience that have played it as they were growing up, saying they wanted it, but
Or they've just seen people playing it and they found it interesting.
yeah, or the actual reasonable answer, they actually do think it's a good game. Never thought of that.
Two completely different things that could have happened, and we'll never know.
We'll never know until tomorrow. Maybe we could ask people, why do you like this game so much? I mean, it's a Rockstar game, so maybe apparently it genuinely is a good game. But no, what I was saying is I didn't want to spoil anything for myself, but just to get a feel for the game, I looked up just a long play or a walkthrough, like a 10-hour video of someone just playing through the whole thing, and I just skipped through to separate bits, and I gotta say, it must be massively story oriented, because nothing draws me to it graphically or gameplay wise, or I reckon I'm gonna have to be invested in the story, because you haven't seen anything of it, right?
I've seen a bit ages ago.
Just a little bit.
A YouTuber play it,
Okay.
but I only watched like 3 episodes, and
The thing is, I feel like it's everywhere, but it's also nowhere, because I'd never really hear anyone talk about it, but when I went to do my research on it, I saw people from the Sidemen playing it, I saw massive YouTubers playing it. I was like, everyone's played this game at one point other than me. I was like, when did this sudden spike happen where everyone loved this game? Because it can't have been in 2006, because YouTube was only just taken off in 2006. It wasn't going to have been then. I don't know when everyone started playing this game. Everyone loves it though, I've got to say. I'm hoping that it lives up to the hype, because there has been a lot of hype. So my expectations for this game are very, very high. And I think the only way to live up to that is if I actually pay attention to the story, which is going to be very hard for me, I've got to say.
Okay.
I'm not great at focusing on chat and building up an answer. Yeah, and also focusing on what's happening in the story. I just can't do it. I've tried to focus on a cutscene, but as soon as I see another message pop up out the corner of my eye, I'm like, I have to respond to it. It's just, I feel too guilty. And that's not even cutscenes, that's like gameplay in general. I'm so bad at multitasking, trying to balance both things. If you watch my streams, that's like one of the main things that people will say, is that you just need to focus on the game sometimes, because I get too carried away with chat, I gotta say.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to talk about while we...
Not particularly. Obviously, the big conversation would be, other than the other things we've pointed out, would be quarantine, how it's affected us, etc., etc. But
I think we could leave that for...
It's been 51 minutes on my recording.
Wow.
Is it gone by quickly?
Yeah, I thought we were only going to be here for like half an hour or something, recording the first episode.
Yeah, it's gone by quickly. We've talked about all sorts of things. Obviously, we both have not strong opinions. I see other podcasts where people are like arguing, not proper arguing, but they're very divisive. They pick a topic and they both have very strong opinions, and you can sense like the hostility. It makes me cringe a little bit. I'm like, I don't want to see this tension. Like, can we not all be friends and have the same opinions? But I feel like me and Lennon both, we don't have very strong opinions on things. We are always open to other suggestions, and if we do end up doing like an Xbox versus PS4 or something, you'll probably see that again.
Yeah.
Because I don't mind. I own a PS4, but I don't mind either one. And I think
I own an Xbox, and I couldn't care less if you prefer.
Yeah, no, that's the thing, isn't it? Is that people actually care about the opposite. So say if you have PS4, you have people that will actually be angry and upset with people that have Xbox, and I'm like, it's
sort of like an old war that happened. So between like
it is
like originally,
it's such strong opinions.
Yeah,
I'm like, why? They're both.
And
they're just different things. You have to, yeah.
For a generation, you've got the like sort of because of me, like personally, I've had an Xbox my whole life because my dad had an Xbox.
Yeah.
And that's sort of how I believe most families will go.
Mm.
And sort of that sort of divides you between Xbox and PlayStation because you want to say that the thing you've got's better. Because everyone
just because you've got it already. Yeah,
it's sort of out of like a jealousy.
I don't think many people will actually try and judge up the statistics and then choose it. I think a lot of people have just gone with what they've always had.
Or word of mouth,
yeah. And then they'll have that, and then they'll just stick on that and try and defend it.
Yeah.
What we're slowly edging more and more towards is one of Josh Robinson's episodes, which was called "Does Pineapple Go on Pizza?" And then they drifted off. So they started with their opinions on that, and they drifted off into how we are in a society that's so divisive, and they have to have such strong opinions about things, and they have to stand their ground. Like
it's sort of like a defensive thing because no one wants to be wrong.
Yeah, that's it. They don't want to be wrong, so they're trying to protect their PlayStation, for example, so much, and try and find things for it. And then because they've got so worked up doing that, they're also against the other thing. I think that's what's going on when people are so divisive over consoles. But Josh put it really well. I mean, Josh could put it much better than we could. We're still in school. We're still figuring this whole thing out. But I think his opinions are fairly established already. And if you guys wanted to see that, links to Josh will be down below, because this is the big shout out now for Josh.
Yeah.
Honestly, he is the only reason we're sitting here doing this today.
He's honestly a talented guy.
He's a really hard-working guy as well. Yeah, so he's got the talent and like you say, he's funny and charismatic and stuff. And it's like, I feel like there's some people like that where it goes to waste, but he is actually so hardworking in putting that into forms of content like podcasts. He does Twitch streams where he would do like a horror game, and of course that's really entertaining, having someone like that doing a horror game. He's super hardworking. All you need to do is look at his YouTube channel, see the variety of things that he does on there, and it's all you need. Exactly, that's all you need. It's crazy. So a massive shout out to Josh. He's also always massively supportive of me over on my Twitch streams, and then also on Twitter as a result of that. So I've got to say a massive thank you to him for always just making me feel like I'm doing the right thing. Like whenever someone says like, oh, you're doing this wrong, or which very rarely happens. I think I've got quite lucky with hate, not gonna lie. But if someone says I'm doing something wrong, I'm like, okay. But Josh always has something nice to say and makes me feel like I'm doing the right thing, and I'm onto something with Twitch. And I have to say a massive thank you to him, because he's given me a lot of motivation, a lot. Yeah. He's also supporting me in other ways, like gifting subs and things like this, which is ridiculous. But just in terms of how he is being so supportive, I gotta give him a shout out for that. That's all.
Oh yeah.
That's me done. There's my little bit on Josh. So,
Okay. Obviously, go check out Sid. Yeah, I'm sure we'll put his links in the description.
yeah. And
Well,
I will
Twitter.
put a link to Lennon's Twitch so that you guys can be. I mean, if you're watching this in the future, he may have already started streaming. But if you're watching it, as it was released, stay tuned on there. Just give him a follow now so that you don't forget about it in the future for when he starts. Because we're just waiting on the PC. He's ready. He wants to do it. He's just waiting on the hardware for it. So give him a follow. If you want, you can give me a follow as well. All the links will be down below. Other than that, 57 minutes. Not bad at all. Hopefully future ones there will be less pauses and maybe we'll get more used to it. But this was my first sit down podcast. What about you, Len?
Same. I
never done anything like it.
No.
Exactly. I mean, appearing on a podcast may be a little easier, but the fact that we're having to do the podcast and host the podcast ourselves, it was quite daunting as we started. It goes by quickly. I'll put it like that.
Yeah.
It has gone by. It's now 20 to 10. Wow. So, other than that, I am sure that we will keep you guys updated on Twitter, so the Twitter links also will be down below, or maybe in my streams I'll talk about it in terms of upcoming topics. If you also want to leave any topics down below, then I'm sure me and Leno would be happy to hear those as well. Well, yeah, I mean, we'll read every comment because we're a lot smaller. If you want to leave topics, so the comment sections are completely free for that. But what we're thinking is a weekly thing. This should go up on a Sunday, and it should be weekly on a Sunday that we'll sit down and do these. If it goes well, if it's well received.
Yep.
We'll see. But other than that, we will see you next Sunday for the next episode, which is probably going to be Xbox versus PS4, unless anyone suggests anything different.
Yep.
That's bye from me for now.
And bye from me.
See you guys next week.